Democrats moving rapidly with Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan making major headway in just the last few hours. And when can we expect a vote in the House on this bill? Welcome back, everyone, to your stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. In this video, we have to discuss the fact that Democrats are advancing the Biden stimulus plan through the Congress without any GOP support, without the need of one single Republican vote. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's dive right into the latest headlines. But before we get started, as always, if you have been enjoying my content, you have been enjoying my videos, and you'd like to see more from my channel, be sure you are subscribed, click that big red button. Also, make sure you click that little notification bell as well. That will actually notify you when I do post a brand new video. And if you have been enjoying my content, you have been appreciating the effort and the output I put out for you guys every single solitary day, go ahead and show your support by smashing the like button, turn that like button blue. Make sure that you do click that like button. I would greatly appreciate that. So that's right, the White House and President Biden are forging ahead with their American Rescue Plan. Just a couple days after President Biden met with Senate Republicans on Monday, Biden on Wednesday met with some Democratic congressional leaders to discuss moving their $1.9 trillion stimulus plan ahead through Congress without any Republican help. The lower chamber of Congress has also now approved a budget measure in a 218 to 212 vote. This will direct a dozen committees to start working on pieces of Biden's bill. This includes elements such as the $1,400 stimulus check. It also means $350 billion in state and local aid and other more controversial issues and provisions such as the $15 national minimum wage hike. Today, Biden spoke on a phone call with the House Democratic Caucus, and according to multiple sources on that call, Biden once again reiterated that he would be open to compromising on who would be eligible for the third round of stimulus checks, but he remained firm on that $1,400 stimulus check figure. So not a penny below $1,400. Biden met with House Democrats for the first time since taking office, and he had said, "Let's stick together. I have your back, and I hope you have mine." He also made an emotional case for quick action, and he cited the alarming rate of suicides and worsening drug addictions amid this pandemic. The budget measure that was passed in the House has now unlocked a process that we have all now come to know and love. That is reconciliation. This will allow Democrats to avoid the legislative filibuster in the Senate and pass Biden's bill with a simple majority in the upper chamber. According to two people that also attended that conference call between Mr. Biden and House Democrats, Biden had allegedly said, "We need to act fast, and it's about who the hell we are as a country." We know what's inside this American Rescue Plan, but just how popular is it? Well, at least among the American people, this plan is very, very popular. And Democrats essentially targeted Republicans and dared them to oppose this bill, because it was found that 7 in 10 Americans, including more than a third of Republicans, backed this bill, according to a Quinnipiac University poll. But over the last several days, as Biden did express openness to changing that eligibility, we have heard so many conflicting messages coming from congressional Democrats, as well as dissent within the own White House, and Biden giving conflicting messages, and then Jen Psaki, the press secretary, saying another thing. So who will be eligible for the third stimulus check? Well, the truth is, as of right now, we frankly do not have a clear picture of what the eligibility will look like. Democrats are now going to first start forming Biden's bill and putting those pieces together. So we can only hypothesize and guess and go based on what we're hearing coming out of the White House. According to sources, Democrats are still mulling over and floating around the idea of restricting the number of people that would be eligible for the third stimulus check, lowering those income thresholds. The newest version of the plan, either way, would still be a $1,400 stimulus check, but it would only go to individuals making $50,000 a year or less, or married couples making $100,000 per year. In addition, heads of households making $120,000 a year or under would receive the full cash payment. Once more, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki spoke on this matter Wednesday, and once again, she did reiterate that Biden would be flexible to not providing the full $1,400 cash payment to individuals making above a certain income level. She told reporters at the Wednesday briefing, "Further targeting means not the size of the check, it means the income level of people who receive the check. That's something that has been under discussion. There hasn't been a conclusion, but certainly he's open to discussion." Many progressive Democratic leaders have also raised the concern that Biden pledged to provide a $2,000 stimulus check, and this third check is only a $1,400 stimulus check to top off the $600 check. So Jen Psaki spoke on that matter as well, and had said the president's plan would fulfill his promise to get $2,000 checks to hard-hit Americans and ensure that, for example, a kindergarten teacher making $60,000 a year isn't left without additional support. Jen Psaki also confirmed the president's plan for $400 supplemental unemployment insurance benefits, saying, quote, the president's plan would give Americans out of work through no fault of their own a $400 weekly supplement and the certainty that it would last through the worst of the pandemic. But because of President Biden's recent concession about withholding $1,400 stimulus checks for Americans making above a certain income level, Jen Psaki spoke to that as well, saying the president, having served in the Senate for 36 years, fully recognizes that the bill he proposed, that he did a primetime address on 2 weeks ago, that may not look exactly like the bill that comes out. But the upshot of all of this discussion and talk is still not a clear answer on what the framework will ultimately look like when this bill is in print and in our hands. So ideally, once these committees do draft this legislation and we do have pen put to paper and we finally have a formal bill, then we could actually take a look at who will be qualified and who will be eligible for the next stimulus check. So Democrats will absolutely be moving forward with reconciliation, but what are Republicans still saying about Biden's bill? Well, just recently, Mitt Romney of Utah had said that if there are no changes, why I wouldn't think anyone Republican will be voting for his proposal. And then as for the $15 minimum wage included in Mr. Biden's plan, Romney had said flatly, that's not going to get passed. Jen Psaki also mentioned the lower cost Republican proposal that is less than 1/3 the size of Biden's nearly $2 trillion stimulus bill, and had basically said that the proposal would leave millions of families vulnerable to hunger and poverty, saying, quote, their plan would deny relief to 15 million lower-income essential workers. Psaki was also forced to criticize a new analysis of President Biden's plan. This came from the University of Pennsylvania's Penn-Wharton budget model on Wednesday, and it projected far less of a benefit to the economy, just an increase of 0.6% for 2021, than other analyses of the proposal. And she had called that analysis that said that their model is way off. We still have no clue about how far Biden is willing to move, as Psaki had promised stimulus checks for a kindergarten teacher making $60,000 a year, but then we hear the proposal that would lower the income thresholds to $50,000 a year. Someone's pulling the strings here, and we're going to need answers quite soon. So Congress will be making great strides on Biden's stimulus plan and doing good on their promises, but they will also be distracted with the impeachment trial of former President Trump. So hopefully that will not create too much of a distraction for Congress to actually implement this bill. It will take some time for the stimulus bill to be formed and actually turn into legislation. Do remember that this is going to be the second largest piece of legislation in United States history, even when adjusted for inflation. The first being the CARES Act of $2.2 trillion back in March. This will be a nearly $2 trillion stimulus package on top of what we've already passed. The good news is, though, that aside from any Republican voices, there is absolutely no indication that there will be any obstruction of this bill in either chamber of Congress. It should have a very easy, decisive passage through both chambers in the House and the Senate. But even still, with the use of reconciliation in such an easy passage, according to analysts and political strategists, this bill still may not be able to be passed through both chambers until the end of February or even early March. And then as far as how quick those checks can get to Americans, well, let's first talk about this bill getting passed first, and then we can talk about distributing checks. But I will tell you that the result is only good news. This all bodes well. There's really nothing negative here going on. It's all beneficial in regards to stimulus. More news is coming soon. You can see how fast the news cycles every single hour of every single waking day. So this is your one-stop shop for stimulus. We cover everything in regards to stimulus on this channel. If you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up, smash the like button, and if you want to see more videos from my channel, be sure you do click the big red button, the subscribe button. Also click the notification bell as well. That will actually notify you every single solitary time I do post a brand new video. And if you'd like some free stocks, use my links down below in the description. You can sign up with Webull or Robinhood, get some free stocks valued up to thousands of dollars and multiple stocks for that matter. Use my links down below in the description. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.